Welcome, everybody. It's nice to see such a well-filled room, and welcome to this 61st annual conference of the Society. A couple of things I would like to say at the beginning, if I may. The first is that Peter Marsden, who is a very prominent London archaeologist from just after the affair at the Mithraeum in 1954 onwards, wrote down a few notes about the first annual conference of London archaeologists, which he was asked to organise. It was held at the Society's headquarters, which in those days were the Bishopsgate Institute. It was on Saturday, 21st of March, note the month, 1964. It started at 2:30, ended at about 5:30, and you would have had to pay, had you gone, 5 shillings as your entrance fee. You'll buy half a cup of coffee for that now. You got afternoon tea then as well. About 130 people attended to hear 6 speakers, each supposed to be speaking for 20 minutes. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but one of the speakers went on for 1.5 hours, despite several attempts to stop him. I hope that won't happen this year. And finally, they made a small loss of 19 shillings and 1p. Anyway, that was back then. Now we've come, obviously, many years forward. A slightly sad point to start is that John Cotton, who's been organising these conferences since 1980, unfortunately is not very well and also has a number of family issues to deal with, which means he's not able to be here today, which I shouldn't say is probably an omen of potential disaster unless we're all very careful, because John has done a splendid job in organising these conferences all that time. He took it over when Alison Laws left the museum, and John had gone there, and he's run them perfectly well ever since. The one thing some people may have noticed is that they always coincide with a Crystal Palace being away match. It's pretty good. Anyway, my main task now is to present the Merrifield Award. We've been doing that since the mid-90s. We've done it annually. We, as an archaeological committee, what we try and do is to ensure that the person who gets it would have met with Ralph's ready approval. This year, I think he would have said, "Why didn't you do this years ago?" And what we might well have done years ago, and I gave her the news this morning, was that the award had gone to Jane. So, Jane Sidell, would you kindly step up here? Jane has been a major figure in London archaeology since early 90s. 1990s, that is. I mean, and it's not only her work in Lambeth. I mean, many of you who come to our lectures will probably have seen Jane trying to make sure that the systems worked ever since we've been running a system where people can come to them personally or at home, and indeed before, when it was all done via Zoom. But she also runs our Lambeth Lates. She makes huge efforts on behalf of the Society. I think it's fair to say we would be lost without her. She was very surprised when I told her this morning that she was getting the award, but I'm glad she didn't run. Yes. So, Jane, let me just thank you on all our behalf for all your work for London archaeology. I haven't mentioned, of course, all your official work as Inspector for Greater London, but we appreciate that much too.
No, thank you very much.
A tremendous figure. She was first introduced to the problems in London, I think, when she was still a student. I seem to remember years ago you telling me that when you were at the Institute, a lot of protesters ran in protesting about what was happening to the roads. So that would have been in the early summer of 1989, and demanded to know of the the Institute of Archaeology students why they weren't out there protesting. But so it's some time ago, and we're still protesting about the roads. But there you go, Jane. Congratulations.
Thanks very much. Thank you.